Chapter 31. Now, when all this was finished, all Israel that were present went out to the cities of Judah. Then all the children of Israel returned, and Hezekiah appointed the courses of the priests and the Levites after their courses. He appointed also the king's portion of his substance for the burnt offerings. 4. Moreover, he commanded the people that dwelt in Jerusalem to give the portion of the priests and the Levites. And as soon as the commandment came abroad, and concerning the children of Israel and Judah, in the 3rd month they began to lay the foundation of the heaps. And when Hezekiah and the princes came and saw the heaps, then Hezekiah questioned with the priests and the Levites concerning the heaps. And Azariah the chief priest of the house of Zadok answered him, since the people began to bring the offerings into the house of the Lord. Then Hezekiah commanded to prepare chambers in the house of the Lord, and brought in the offerings, and the tithes, and the dedicated things faithfully, over which Conaniah the Levite was ruler, and Jehiel, and Asasiah, and Nahath, and Asahel, and Jeremuth, and Josabad, and Kori the son of Imnah, the Levite. And next him were Eden, and Miniman, and Jeshua, beside their genealogy of males, from 3 years old and upward, both to the genealogy of the priests, by the house of their fathers, into the genealogy of all their little ones, their wives, and their sons, also of the sons of Aaron the priests. And thus did Hezekiah throughout all Judah, and in every work that he began in the service of the house of God. Chapter 32. After these things, and the establishment thereof, Sennacherib king of Assyria came. And when Hezekiah saw that Sennacherib was come, he took counsel with his princes. So there was gathered much people together. Why should the kings of Assyria come, and find much water? Also he strengthened himself, and he set captains of war over the people. Be strong and courageous. Be not afraid nor dismayed for the king of Assyria. With him is an arm of flesh. And the people rested themselves upon the words of Hezekiah, king of Judah. After this did Sennacherib king of Assyria send his servants to Jerusalem. Thus saith Sennacherib, king of Assyria, Doth not Hezekiah persuade you to give over yourselves to die by famine and by thirst? The Lord our God shall deliver us out of the hand of the king of Assyria. Hath not the same Hezekiah taken away his high places and his altars? Know ye not what I and my fathers have done unto all the people of other lands? Who was there among all the gods of those nations that my fathers utterly destroyed? Now therefore let not Hezekiah deceive you. And his servant spake yet more against the Lord God. He wrote also letters to rail on the Lord God of Israel, as the gods of the nations of other lands have not delivered their people out of mine hand. Then they cried with a loud voice in the Jews' speech unto the people of Jerusalem that were on the wall, and they spake against the God of Jerusalem. And for this cause Hezekiah the king, and the Lord sent an angel, which cut off all the mighty men of valor, so he returned with shame of face to his own land. And when he was come into the house of his God, thus the Lord saved Hezekiah and the inhabitants of Jerusalem from the hand of Sennacherib, the king of Assyria. And many brought gifts unto the Lord to Jerusalem. In those days Hezekiah was sick to the death, but Hezekiah rendered not again according to the benefit done unto him. Notwithstanding, Hezekiah humbled himself for the pride of his heart. And Hezekiah had exceeding much riches and honor. And he made himself treasuries for silver, storehouses, also for the increase of corn, and wine, and oil. Moreover, he provided him cities. This same Hezekiah also stopped the upper watercourse of Gihon, howbeit in the business of the ambassadors of the princes of Babylon. God left him, to try him, now the rest of the acts of Hezekiah. And Hezekiah slept with his fathers. Chapter 33. Manasseh was 12 years old when he began to reign, but did that which was evil in the sight of the Lord. For he built again the high places which Hezekiah his father had broken down. Also he built altars in the house of the Lord, and he built altars for all the host of heaven in the two courts of the house of the Lord. And he caused his children to pass through the fire in the valley of the son of Hinnom. Also he observed times. And he set a carved image, the idol which he had made. Neither will I any more remove the foot of Israel from out of the land which I have appointed for your fathers, so that they will take heed to do all that I have commanded them. So Manasseh made Judah and the inhabitants of Jerusalem to err, and the Lord spake to Manasseh and to his people, but they would not hearken. Wherefore the Lord brought upon them the captains of the host of the king of Assyria, and when he was in affliction, he besought the Lord his God, and prayed unto him, and he was entreated of him, and heard his supplication. Then Manasseh knew that the Lord he was God. Now after this he built a wall without the city of David, and he took away the strange gods, and he repaired the altar of the Lord. Nevertheless the people did sacrifice still in the high places. Now the rest of the acts of Manasseh, and his prayer unto his God, his prayer also, and how God was entreated of him. So Manasseh slept with his fathers. Amon was 22 years old when he began to reign, but he did that which was evil in the sight of the Lord, and humbled not himself before the Lord. And his servants conspired against him, but the people of the land slew all them that had conspired against King Amon. Chapter 34. Josiah was 8 years old when he began to reign, and he did that which was right in the sight of the Lord. For in the 8th year of his reign, while he was yet young, and they brake down the altars of Baalim in his presence. And he burnt the bones of the priests upon their altars, and cleansed Judah and Jerusalem. 6. And so did he in the cities of Manasseh. And when he had broken down the altars and the groves, now in the 18th year of his reign, when he had purged the land, and when they came to Hilkiah the high priest, and they put it in the hand of the workmen that had the oversight of the house of the Lord, even to the artificers and builders gave they it, and the men did the work faithfully. And the overseers of them were Jehoth and Obadiah, the Levites, of the sons of Merari. Also, they were over the bearers of burdens, and when they brought out the money that was brought into the house of the Lord. And Hilkiah answered and said to Shaphan the scribe, and Shaphan carried the book to the king, and they have gathered together the money that was found in the house of the Lord. Then Shaphan the scribe told the king, saying, Hilkiah the priest hath given me a book. And it came to pass, and the king commanded Hilkiah and Abikam the son of Shaphan, Go, inquire of the Lord for me. And Hilkiah, and they that the king had appointed, went to Huldah, the prophetess. And she answered them, Thus saith the Lord, Behold, I will bring evil upon this place, because they have forsaken me. And as for the king of Judah, who sent you to inquire of the Lord, because thine heart was tender, and thou didst humble thyself before God, behold, I will gather thee to thy fathers. Then the king sent, and gathered together all the elders of Judah and Jerusalem, and all the men of Judah, and the inhabitants of Jerusalem. And the king stood in his place, and he caused all that were present in Jerusalem and Benjamin to stand to it. And the inhabitants of Jerusalem did according to the covenant of God, and Josiah took away all the abominations out of all the countries that pertained to the children of Israel. And all his days they departed not from following the Lord. Chapter 35. Moreover, Josiah kept a Passover unto the Lord in Jerusalem. And they killed the Passover on the 14th day of the first month, and he set the priests in their charges, and said unto the Levites that taught all Israel, which were holy unto the Lord, And prepare yourselves by the houses of your fathers, after your courses, and stand in the holy place, according to the divisions of the families of the fathers of your brethren the people, and after the division of the families of the Levites. 6. So kill the Passover, and sanctify yourselves. And Josiah gave to the people, of the flock, lambs and kids. And his princes gave willingly unto the people, Conaniah also, and Shemaiah, and Nethaneel, his brethren. So the service was prepared. And they killed the Passover, and they removed the burnt offerings. And they roasted the Passover with fire according to the ordinance. But the other holy offerings sod they in pots, and afterward they made ready for themselves. And the singers the sons of Asaph were in their place. So all the service of the Lord was prepared the same day, to keep the Passover, and the children of Israel that were present kept the Passover at that time. And there was no Passover like to that kept in Israel, from the days of Samuel the prophet. Neither did all the kings of Israel keep such a Passover as Josiah kept. In the 18th year of the reign of Josiah was this Passover kept. Necho king of Egypt came up to fight against Carchemish by Euphrates, and Josiah went out against him. But he sent ambassadors to him, saying, I come not against thee this day. Nevertheless, Josiah would not turn his face from him, and the archers shot at King Josiah. His servants therefore took him out of that chariot. And Jeremiah lamented for Josiah. And all the singing men and the singing women spake of Josiah in their lamentations to this day. Now the rest of the acts of Josiah, and his deeds, first and last, behold, they are written in the book of the kings of Israel and Judah. Chapter 36. Then the people of the land took Jehoash the son of Josiah. Jehoash was 23 years old when he began to reign, and the king of Egypt put him down at Jerusalem. And the king of Egypt made Eliakim his brother king over Judah and Jerusalem. Jehoiachim was 25 years old when he began to reign. Against him came up Nebuchadnezzar, king of Babylon. Nebuchadnezzar also carried of the vessels of the house of the Lord to Babylon. Now the rest of the acts of Jehoiakim, and his abominations which he did. Jehoiachin was 8 years old when he began to reign, and when the year was expired, King Nebuchadnezzar sent. Zedekiah was 21 years old when he began to reign, and he did that which was evil in the sight of the Lord his God. And he also rebelled against King Nebuchadnezzar. Moreover, all the chief of the priests, and the people, transgressed very much, after all the abominations of the heathen. And the Lord God of their fathers sent to them by his messengers, rising up betimes, but they mocked the messengers of God. Therefore he brought upon them the king of the Chaldees, and all the vessels of the house of God, great and small. And they burnt the house of God, and them that had escaped from the sword carried he away to Babylon. To fulfill the word of the Lord by the mouth of Jeremiah. Now in the 1st year of Cyrus king of Persia, thus saith Cyrus king of Persia, Who is there among you of all his people,